Hello and welcome to Scarytown, the Goosebumps review show. Halloween is, as of this recording, tomorrow, so I feel it was timely to review a Halloween-themed Goosebumps book, and the Most Wanted series brought us Zombie Halloween. So, what is Zombie Halloween? Zombie Halloween is a special edition Goosebumps book that has a short story that starts in the 1940s, ties in with the main story, and the main story is this family moves into a mansion that is located right across from a graveyard, and zombies are starting to show up coincidentally right around when Halloween is supposed to happen, and the kids in the story are supposed to have a Halloween party, and some undead, uninvited guests start showing up. What did I like about Zombie Halloween? Particularly, I like the setup that it's a spooky, haunted mansion located right across the street from a cemetery, which is just kind of ridiculous. Like, I'm sure that probably happens in real life somewhere, but it's a pretty cool idea, and it definitely gets you into the mood particularly for zombies. And also the thing I like is the story kind of accurately represents what's going on recently with like the popularity of the Walking Dead TV show, and zombies have always been popular, but they've become even more popular because of the Walking Dead show. And in this universe, it's pretty much the same thing. They don't call it the Walking Dead. I think they call it the Shambling Dead or something like that, something similar. And the kids also play a video game that is based on the TV show that they're watching, and the main kid is Kenny, and his best friend Alec is like obsessed with zombies. Speaking of characters, Kenny's sister Trisha is probably one of my favorite characters in the book, because Kenny and Alec are like really into zombies, and so is everyone else that they know of, including Grandpa Mo, because Grandpa Mo has these dreams of zombies and stuff, and they don't know if he's really crazy or not. But Trisha is like the only one in the story that is not into zombies, that thinks they're boring and just doesn't go along with everything. But what's cool about his character is she's very funny. Like, she pokes fun at her brother Kenny, and it's kind of jokes around, and I like the sibling rivalry between the brother and his sister there. And in the end, eventually, like when it comes to planning the Halloween party, the boys want to style it around and make it like a zombie themed Halloween party, and she's like, no. But then it's like, if you agree to send out the invitations, then I'll be okay with your zombie party, and I'll even dress up as a zombie. And so it's just kind of cool how like she was not into zombies, but is willing to make a compromise, even dress up as a zombie, and just to uh, go along with her brother and her friend. Like, this is the first Goosebumps story that I've read that is the subject is zombies going after the kids. So for me personally, I thought that was really cool. I've never seen that. Most zombie stuff I see are movies, and it always centers on adults. And if there's any kids involved, it's usually the adults are nearby the kids. So to have a zombie story that's centered on the zombies going after the kids was really cool. So I thought it was really cool, because I think having kids being in danger against monsters or in a horror story is all really cool, because you don't want anything bad to happen to the kids. You know, they're too young to die. So that's pretty cool. I also like that it leads up to Halloween. Is the very last couple of like maybe 20 or 30 pages is like 5 days till Halloween, and then the Halloween party is awesome. Everyone's dressed up as a zombie, and when the uninvited undead guest starts showing up, it's really cool. So, and then it gets into the climax, and it's awesome. It's very well done. And then, without going to spoilers, the ending, as always, there's always a twist in a Goosebumps story, and this one actually ties into something that happened earlier in the story, and it's a payoff that actually works out. So it may make you groan, well, made me groan a little bit, but it definitely fits in with the story, and it's a pretty cool twist. It's not game changing or anything, but I think you'll enjoy it. So, kicking off with things I didn't like about Zombie Halloween, in particular, Alec, who is Kenny's best friend, he's the one that is most obsessed with zombies, and throughout the story, he is actually, it's kind of funny because he's like this horror fan that's into zombies, but when it comes to the realization that there could be zombies in real life, he is terrified. And I was kind of disappointed that they didn't do like this character arc with him overcoming his fear of zombies and just kind of manning up, and that never actually happens. So that's it. It may be kind of a minor thing to complain about, but I think there was plenty of room in the story for this to happen, and it would have worked out really well in the end. So there's that. I said before, it was cool to actually have a zombie story where the kids are in danger. However, there is an inconsistency with the zombies being a threat to the kids. There are many instances throughout the story until the climax of the story where the zombies are really too much of a threat. They don't really go after the kids. They're just kind of just mindless. And like they kind of move towards them, but then kind of ignore them. And then another point in the story, they go after their grandpa in the cemetery, but then later it's shown that they ignored him to go somewhere else to find somebody to eat. So it didn't really kind of add up until the very end, where there was an instance where a zombie was coming after them to eat them. So it's just, I felt like it could have been tightened down to be like, the zombies are definitely after them, and then they have to find a way to get away from the zombies. So that would have been a lot better. So that's kind of disappointing. Later on in the story, the kids are like, we need to form like some kind of group of other kids, and we need to go out and search for the zombies and make sure that they're not going after people. Because there were some news reports actually 2 news reports by some kids from the local school, and they were like, oh, we saw a zombie attack a lady and that sort of thing, and a cop that was off duty is like, oh, I saw 2 zombies going after some people, and it was like, and so they're like, we should do our part in the community to patrol, and they form a zombie patrol. So it's the kids and Kenny and Alec, but Trish doesn't want to come along because she thinks zombies are stupid anyways, and so she doesn't come along. But Kenny and Alec invite some kids from school, and we're all introduced to them. They're given names, and they're like kind of a little bit of backstory on them. And then when they actually go into the cemetery to look for the zombies, because that's the most obvious place where the zombies would be, they turn tail and run away. And we've pretty much never seen or really talked about, other than that they call them later and say, we chickened out, and that was it. So I felt like there was an opportunity to actually develop these characters and have them become more a part of a story, and that would have been cool. But I can understand why they weren't, because there might not have been too much room for them. But then what is the point of introducing new characters if they're not going to do anything, and they're just there for them just to be cowards and just run away? And this is kind of a waste of time. Either do something with them or just get rid of them, because they don't really add anything to the story. So, closing thoughts. Zombie Halloween is a really good Goosebumps book that is centered around Halloween and has zombies with it. And there's not a whole lot of Goosebumps stories that are about zombies. This is kind of strange. But this one is really solid. The things I didn't like about it are just stuff that didn't really work out. That, like Alec, there's no character arc with him. That would have been cool, but it wasn't there. It's not a big deal, honestly, but just about everything I pointed out that I didn't like about it could have elevated the story to become really great. And as it is, it's just, it's average, it's solid. You know, the things I mentioned that I didn't like, it doesn't really bring the story down too much, and it's just really solid. We get a short story with them being in the 1940s, and then in present day with our main characters is really cool. And there's a Halloween party with zombies. What more can you want? So would I recommend this? I would recommend this, particularly if you like zombies. And it's a pretty solid Goosebumps story, but I would say if you're not really into zombies, don't really do it for you, don't really excite you, then it probably a pass, because there's so much zombies being mentioned in this. It's like an overload. Like, the kids are into playing the video games about a zombie TV show, and their best friend is obsessed with zombies, and grandpa is always talking about zombies, and it's zombies everywhere. And it's just, you can't escape it. So if you don't like it, then probably worth checking out something else. But it's definitely fun, and yeah, so I'll see you guys next time for a regular Goosebumps review. Until then, happy Halloween.